Hello everyone, welcome back to the Plunder Den. In this week's episode, we're going to craft a blockhouse. So a blockhouse is a fortification, would have used in North America mostly, but I've seen blockhouses used all throughout history, and even in Russia and other countries. It's a standard wooden fortification, really. As we move closer to Fire on the Frontier, which is the new expansion for Blood and Plunder, I thought this would be a great piece of terrain to build. So when I started this project, I was like, oh, I'll finish it a single episode, no problem. I actually wanted to do an entire fortification, like an entire fort. So the blockhouse is usually kind of in the center. They got walls, gates, all that kind of stuff. And I still am going to do that. But I think I was kind of a little optimistic thinking I was going to finish the entire blockhouse in one episode. So I did construct it all, but I haven't painted it yet. So similar to some of my previous episodes, we'll do a painting tutorial in the second episode, and maybe build some scatter terrain or something for it. And then we'll move on to I want to do the gateway and the wall and other parts components to this fort. So let's take a look at it. I really wanted to make it a 3-level. So this is what it looks like. And really it's just it's kind of like just a wooden fort. And you can see there's quite a few popsicle sticks here. But the entire core of this is foam. And then I've added these popsicle sticks to it, and it's a cardstock for shingles. I use insulation foam to make this chimney. So this comes apart in 3 sections. So we got the roof. I made it with these little tabs here, which also is, works as a decoration, but also as a functional piece of this roof. It can hold it on here so it doesn't wobble off. So that's the roof component. And then we got the second floor here. And then, as you can see, I did the same thing on here, just so they all lock into place when you are moving around it. I built a ladder. Got to get to the upper floor somehow, right? And then this is the bottom floor. So, yeah, there's quite a few popsicle sticks here, dowels, and all sorts of matchsticks, and all sorts of stuff that I use to construct this piece. It definitely, I'm pretty happy with the way it came out, and can't wait to paint it. But in this video, we're going to just craft it. All right, if you like what we're doing here on the Plunder Den, make sure you smash that like button and consider subscribing to the Plunder Den and get first-hand information on when I start these kind of projects. All right, let's get down to the table and let's start crafting this blockhouse. All right, I started with some dollar store foam board. I cut some pieces out 3 by 7 and 3.5 by 6. Just a little taller on the bottom, but not as wide, and a little wider on the top. Then I cut a base that it's going to sit on, and this is a base that the second floor is going to sit on. So kind of wanted to have, and it's the same size dimensions as the larger top, so it's 7 inches wide. I'm just showing you I'm planning on cutting the center out, and I plan on gluing together with tacky glue here. We just want to have I'm going to put a ladder in there to the second floor. So then, as usual, I measure everything out with my minis. I want to make sure that that everything fits nicely. I took in consideration that they would be standing on popsicle sticks, so they'll be a little bit taller than what I was doing there on my tabletop. And then I traced them all out on all of these pieces of foam where I want the openings to be. I'm just showing you I did it in 2s. That's why I indicated. So I got 2 similar. So I did two cannon ports on most of them, but I decided to do one wall where there was three. The bottom's going to vary because there's going to be a doorway and other things on here. As you can see, there's one cannon slot. You could do whatever configuration you wanted, to be honest. I just kind of, this is how I did mine. So once I've cut them all out, I added this balsa wood in here, kind of framed out that doorway. I just made a foam door and used some matchsticks and kind of made a pattern to make a, and there's little beads there as doorknobs. And then I did all the gun ports on everything, and I'm just showing you I'm planning on texturizing a lot of popsicle sticks. I don't know how many I did in this. I had to enlist my son to help me make popsicle sticks, at least 200 to 300 popsicle sticks I ended up using in this project. So it is time consuming, but I really wanted that look to it, opposed to just drawing it on the foam. I really wanted this wood look. I can't wait to paint it in the next tutorial. And you know, it's paid dividends, all that texturizing we did. Just showing you that I notched the sides. On a blockhouse, they kind of notch into each other on the side, so I wanted to have that look. So I did that pattern on the side. So then I glued all the pieces together on the base. Now, I was debating gluing it on first and then putting it together, like I did this front piece. But I realized that connecting it might be challenging on the corners. So I decided to put it all together, then start gluing the popsicle sticks on. You know, I don't know if it was easier or not. Both were time consuming. So just showing you, just measured everything all out and just glued that top part. So now I'm moving on to the bottom, just showing you all the way around. I've done the popsicle sticks all the way around the outside of it. I've added balsa wood in the corners, as you can see, as the edges of the, I plan on doing that on the upper floor as well, just to add some detail to it. Looks like there are support beams in there. Just making sure everything fits nicely. So I checked a lot of times to make sure everything is scaled right and everything looks straight. So I was just showing you I'm planning on doing the roof on top of that in an additional piece. So then I cut the chimney out of insulation foam. Now, the chimney I was debating even putting a chimney in there because, you know, it might be tricky to play my minis around it. But I thought that historically that's what would be there. So I think I needed that detail. And I wanted to have some stonework in there to offset all that, you know, the popsicle sticks that are in there right now. So I had to cut this chimney. I originally cut it all out to make sure it was tall enough, and actually ended up not being, and I had to put an extension on that top piece. But what I did was I just used this dowel, carved it out, the brick pattern, and I cut it into sections. I ended up cutting the chimney in 3 sections for each section of the floor. So then I kind of made like a stone pattern on the bottom of this insulation foam, which I plan on painting up on the base. Again, something, you know, you don't have to put on there. You could just cut that off if you don't want it. I just wanted to add a little stonework on there. And I added a little bit to the front of the chimney. You can see I've glued the chimney in place, and I've done the interior of the bottom with popsicle sticks. So just so you know, I used a white tacky glue for all these steps right now. I haven't used anything else. Sometimes I would have done glue gun, but it was too tricky inside that building. So then I got some balsa wood here. I wanted to make a trim around the base of this building, and I wanted to support these little. I cut little small components, and it's like timbers coming out of the side of the building, but it also is double purpose. It actually holds that second floor onto the base. So it fits nicely within those dowel pieces. Well, not dowel, balsa wood. All right, so then we got the roof. I use, normally I would use cardstock, but today I decided to go with all foam roof. So I just cut these triangles out of dollar store foam board. I kind of edged the sides just so it all slips together. And I used some white tacky glue to put it together. So you can see I've done 3 of the sides. I cut a hole in it for the chimney, and really all I did was just trace the chimney onto it, and then the bottom of it, and then cut it out. So the chimney's going to support the roof. You can see I add a little chunk to the bottom of the chimney because it just wasn't quite tall enough. But and what I don't show you here is I ended up adding a piece of balsa wood in the center of the peak just to give it more stability. And then I just glued it all together with the white tacky glue. So then I moved to shingles. And I'm not going to show you how to make shingles. I've done it before in other videos. I just kind of trace it out of cardstock. I used a Chex cereal box in this particular project. And I just use showing you that they're 1 inch thick. And I just use my little drawing mat there to put them out, cut them out, and then I trim them up to look like shingles. Do them in these long strips. So then I just glue them on, and like I said, I've shown this in previous videos. I use the hot glue gun for shingles, and mainly because if you use white glue, sometimes it bows and it sticks up, and it's hard for it to stay flat. You keep having to push it down. Hot glue glues immediately, and it's easy to keep the shingles flat. That's why I prefer to use hot glue. So I'll just show you everything's done on the roof, except for the trim of the edges to hide where I've kind of put the shingles together. So normally I would have just done a long strip on there, but I've decided to cut these little squares and do individual shingles going up the edges here to hide those seams. So here we go. Here's after I've glued them on. And I pointed the top and the bottom just so when you get to the tip of the roof and then the bottom of the roof, I just edged and made like a point on the bottom of the shingle. I'm just showing you I plan on doing the other side. I did all 3 sides except for the one. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like before and after. And then we're going to go to more popsicle stick work. We got to do that second floor. So then I decided I needed to make that ladder I mentioned early on to get to the second floor. So that's just 2 really small pieces of balsa wood, a couple of matchsticks. I used my cutting board to measure it all out, and I just made little steps for the ladder. So I'm just showing you everything else is completed. So the roof is done. Everything's gone on there. This is the second floor. Everything's completed. Inside, outside. Yeah, there was, I have to say, lots of hours of gluing popsicle sticks, and I really appreciate my son helping me out because I don't think I would have got it done this week, to be honest. I really was working right to the last minute to get this all done and completed. And I just showed you the main floor. So those are all 3 floors, all fabricated, crafted, ready to go, and almost ready to go to paint. And you can see that putting those little timbers or balsa wood really locks everything into place, and it worked out great. I'm pretty happy with it. All right, so let's take one more look through it. Let's look at, I got some English militia here protecting this blockhouse, and we're going to take a look inside here in a minute, see what's happening. We got, I just wanted to show you with all the minis inside what it looked like. Looks like they're about to give a broadside in there. I just wanted to give you an overall look. So there's the ladder going to the second floor. And I do want to add some details in the next episode. I'll try to figure out what kind of scatter terrain I want to add into it. But let's go look at the main floor. Just wanted to show you with some minis in it. I think it's a good playable space in here, and we're gonna have lots of fun on the frontier here with this blockhouse. All right, if you guys like what we're doing here on the Plunder Den, make sure you smash that like button and consider subscribing to the Plunder Den and get first-hand information when I start these kind of projects. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.